Salutation, statistic supporters. This is a Stats MR here with another presentation to sleep through. Today I will be discussing some fun facts and stats related to American football. As you may or may not know, the playoffs are starting for American football this weekend, and thought we'd be neat to look at some statistics related to the past 20 years or so of which teams that won, how highly ranked their offense, defense, and kicking were during the regular season, and how that correlated to winning the championship. And as always, I'll leave a link to my statistical source and the fun facts in the description. Okay, so let's get into the fun facts. Okay, so the championship game is referred to as the Super Bowl. However, that was not always the case. They had a championship game well before the first Super Bowl. And so the first few facts are related to the championship game that was before it was called the Super Bowl. Okay, fun fact number one. The first champion was the Akron Pros in 1920. I don't think Akron even has a team anymore. Fun fact number two. From 1920 to 1969, so this was before the Super Bowl was created, Green Bay won 11 titles. Chicago had 8 titles in that same time span. Fun fact number 3. The New York Giants had the most runner-up finishes at the unlucky 13 from 1920 to 1969. Fun fact number 4. The Canton Bulldogs, Providence Steamrollers, and Frankfurt Yellow Jackets also won titles between 1920 and 1969. I don't think any of those teams exist anymore. Now, these next few facts relate to some statistical measures related to Super Bowl cost that are from the last few years. So fun fact number 5, $6,214 US is the average cost of a ticket to the past 5 Super Bowls. Fun fact number 6, 195% is the 20-year increase of a 30-second ad in the Super Bowl. The thing about that, so there's a lot of companies, like I remember last year, a lot of the crypto companies were, just had some ads. I don't know that it really paid off for them, but we'll see. Fun fact number 7, supposedly 29,367, that's right, 29,367 USD is the highest price ever paid for a Super Bowl ticket. That's about the cost of a car. I mean, that's you get a vehicle for that. Okay, fun fact number 8, 52% of survey participants said they would give up vacation days for 1 year to see their favorite team win the Super Bowl. I would have to be in the 48% that said no. It's tough. I said, give a vacation time. Fun fact number 9, 31% of survey participants said they would give up an annual bonus to see the favorite team win the Super Bowl. I mean, you wonder how, for the 31%, like how big the annual bonus is, you know. Fun fact number 10, 14% of survey participants said they would give up their savings account balance to see their favorite team win the Super Bowl. I don't know. I mean, I guess it depends on how much is in it, but I don't know. I guess if you've a team at like the Detroit or something, and you've never seen it, maybe I mean, I don't know. That's steep, though. And fun fact number 11, 3% of survey participants said they would give up their retirement balance to see their favorite team win the Super Bowl. I mean, that is, that's tough. I don't know. I guess if you don't have a lot in your retirement account, maybe you have a pension, it wouldn't be that bad, but still, that's rough. Okay, now we'll go into some statistics. I'll give it kind of an overview of the table. So this is the year. So I went back to 2000, so I went back about 22 years. So column A is the year. Column B is the Super Bowl winner. Column C is the number of road games the winner played in the playoffs. Column D is the conference that won. So, see in the row 3 that the Ravens are in the AFC, so that's the AFC. Column E is the game location, like whether the game was actually played. Column F is where the Super Bowl winner finished in the regular season in their division. So as you see, the Ravens actually came in second in the AFC Central in 2000. Then you get into rankings, so columns G through L are rankings. So, in American football, you can rush or pass on offense. Okay, so, and the higher the rank, the better. So, and the lower, let me rephrase that. 01 is the best, and like 32nd is the worst. So the closer to 1 you are, the better. And the closer to 32 you are, the worse you are. Okay. And on defense, also like what does the defense rank? You know, in defending against the rushing, and what do they rank against defending against passing? And then so there's also scoring on offense and defense. Okay. And then there's also kicking. So kicking is if they don't score a touchdown, they can kick a field goal. So that's kind of like field goal percentage. So it just has the rankings, and this is for the champion. So in 2000, the Ravens had the 5th best rushing offense, the 22nd best passing offense. They had the number 1 scoring offense. They had the best rushing defense. They had the 8th best passing defense. And then they had the best scoring defense. And in kicking, they had the 9th best kicking. So I took an average of the offensive rankings, which is G, H, and I, and put it in column N, and the defensive average for O is an average of J, K, and L. Okay. Now, I also listed who was the best scoring offense and who's the best scoring defense, just to see if, like, okay, if in the regular season most of the time they didn't. Now Baltimore ended up winning. And that's what columnized to the first ranked scoring offense and defense win the title. Y is yes, N is no. And this is the average. So, again, and this is, I listed the team that had the best. Now in 2000, Baltimore won and had the first ranked scoring offense and scoring defense, so it was the same. Now in 2001, Chicago actually had the first scoring offense and first scoring defense, but they didn't win. And that year, the Patriots won. So, it's like, okay, what's the average offense and average defensive ranking? So again, average for offenses, rushing, passing, scoring. Average defense is defense, rushing, passing, scoring. What was the average for the number one ranked scoring? And then what was the number one ranked scoring and rushing, kicking? So, and again, I was doing this to try to determine, like, is there a pattern? You know, like if a team had the best scoring defense and the best scoring offense and didn't win, was there some contributing factor? You know, a pattern. That's what I was trying to determine here. And so again, I did this every year from 2000 to 2021. Now I also had, these are the 2022 rankings. Now again, the 2022 playoffs are about to start this weekend, so we don't know who the champion is. But again, as you can see, like we filter, you know, like if the first ranked offense and defense won, there's a lot more no's than yeses. So, yeah, 16 and 23. So 16 times the top ranked scoring offense and defense did not win the Super Bowl. And then 6 times they did. But interestingly enough, three of the 6 times were all before 2005. So since, like in the last 10 years, it's only happened twice where the top-ranked scoring offense and scoring defense actually won the Super Bowl. That was the 2013 Seattle and 2016 New England. So, I have some charts here related to the stats. So we look at championships by conference, and again, this is since 2000. 13 for the AFC, 9 for the NFC. So they've won, the AFC's won 59, the NFC's 41%. Next, we go to the host cities. As you can see, Florida's a popular destination. Miami and Tampa both have hosted 3 times. Phoenix, which will host the current upcoming one, has hosted 3. And there's Houston, New Orleans. All of these are warm weather cities. Now there's a few that have hosted only once, like say Detroit, Indianapolis, Minneapolis, New Jersey. Those are all like one time. So it hasn't been exclusively in a warm weather city, but as you see, Florida is the number 1 spot. Now, looks at, okay, does the regular season finish in the division have any impact? Now, what I did notice, no team that finished worse than second has ever won the Super Bowl. So, if the Giants, I think, made the playoffs this year, and I think they finished third in their division, if they won, it would be the first time ever that a team ranked lower than second in their regular season in the division won the Super Bowl. As you see, 18 out of 22 times, the Super Bowl winner won the division in the regular season, and 4 times there was a second place team that won the Super Bowl. There was a team that finished second in the division in the regular season won the Super Bowl. So, there's 82% chance they won the division. Okay. And then this next one goes into the number of titles since 2000. As you see, New England, Baltimore, New York, Pittsburgh, Tampa have all won 2 or more. And then you have individual ones like Denver, Green Bay, Indianapolis, Kansas City, Los Angeles, New Orleans, Philadelphia, and Seattle. And again, this is only going back to 2000. This isn't counting like the 1990s or the 1980s or 1970s. Okay, now, when I tried to look at, okay, is there any kind of combination or indicators of, where a team has to average in offense and defense to win? I looked at the nose. I was like, okay, if a team had the number 1 offense and defense, was it any indicator of why? Okay, so for instance, last year Buffalo had the first ranked scoring offense, the first ranked scoring defense. However, they didn't win. The Los Angeles Rams won. Was that they didn't have, a top 5 kicking. However, when I compared it to the winner, and like I say, last year Buffalo had the 7th best kicking, but the champion had the 9th best. So it's kind of an anomaly. Now the other years, like I say, the Los Angeles Rams in 2020 had the top-ranked offense, or top-scoring offense, top-scoring defense. However, they were 18th in kicking, and the champion, the Tampa Bay, this is 2020, had the 2nd place kicking. So they had a better kicking. It's kind of the same thing. So New England in 2019 had the number 1 scoring offense, number 1 scoring defense. However, they had the 7th ranked kicking. However, the champion, which is Kansas City, had the 3rd ranked kicking. And again, same thing. 2018, New England won. So even though Chicago had the number 1 scoring offense, number 1 scoring defense, they had the 8th ranked kicking, and New England had the 5th. So New England had a better kicking. Same thing, Minnesota. Number 1 scoring offense, number 1 scoring defense. They were at the 6th ranked kicking, so again, pretty good. However, San Francisco is definitely... Now, the only way well, I shouldn't say the only way. The only team that has a better ranked kicking performance is Kansas City. So, if that trend holds up, the only team that could really, the trend where, the better kicking squad wins, Kansas City would be the only way that could hold true. Now, again, if I take the average, the offense and the defense, there is one team that has a better average. That's Buffalo. Buffalo, the average of the rush, pass, and scoring is 6.33 compared to San Francisco's 7. The average of the defense, rush, pass, and scoring is 5 compared to San Francisco's 8. So like I say, if I had to pick. Now, interestingly enough, I looked at all the other results, like where I go back to the 2000 to 2021 results. None of the winners that had the first-ranked offense and first-ranked defense, the best kicking unit was 4. So none of them had a kicking unit as good as San Francisco's. San Francisco's ranked 2nd. So, let's say if you're a 49ers fan, you have to feel very confident. Say the only really, potential threats would be in the Super Bowl game. I say Buffalo has the higher average, and then Kansas City is the only team with the better ranked kicking. So, I say you have to like San Francisco. Anyway, not that I particularly have a rooting interest, but that's just what the numbers say. Anyways, this is a Statsma, hoping that your efforts have a positive correlation with the results. So long.